Hello, today we're going to take a close look at a passage from the Korean beginner's book, Tiger Hangul.
Right, many of you may already know a bit about the Korean language, but today we'll use this material to explore how Hangul was created and what its core principles are.
Exactly. Sometimes we overlook things we're too familiar with. But this is a chance to say, oh, that's what it really means.
Absolutely. Though it's a beginner's guide, it contains deep ideas, like the founding spirit and structure of Hangul, very interesting subjects.
So, shall we start with the background of Hangul's creation?
Great. Before 1443, Korea didn't have its own writing system. The spoken language was Korean, but writing was done in Chinese characters. Only the elite Yangban class could read and write.
Most common people couldn't read or write, so they were legally disadvantaged and had limited access to information.
King Sejong found this truly unfortunate. He decided to create a script that anyone could learn easily and use comfortably. And he personally invented 28 characters, Hunmin Jong.
There's a famous saying, a wise person can learn it in a day and a foolish one in 10 days. It clearly shows how easy and accessible Hangul was meant to be.
And a writing system that was deliberately designed for a purpose is extremely rare in the world.
It was truly a design for the people.
Yes, and it's also very scientific. You can especially see that in the consonants.
Right. The consonants were modelled after the shapes made by your speech organs when producing each sound.
Exactly. Ji-yog shows the tongue root slightly blocking the throat. Ni-un is the tongue touching the upper gums. Mium resembles the shape of the lips. Siot is the shape of the teeth. And Yung reflects the shape of the throat. So these aren't just sound symbols. They visually represent how the sound is made.
Then what about vowels?
Vowels are based on a more philosophical approach.
Eastern philosophy, the idea of Chunjiin, heaven, earth and humanity.
Yes, heaven dot, earth horizontal line, human vertical line e. These are combined to create vowels like etc.
So it's a writing system that's both structured and philosophical.
Exactly. From the start, Hangul was designed with phonetic principles and a worldview in mind.
Let's now look at how consonants and vowels combine.
Sure, in English we write words like HIPHOP in a line, but in Korean we group initial, vowel and final into a square block.
That's why we write hib-hab as two syllabic blocks, not as HIBHAP stretched out.
This makes Hangul easier to read visually and great for writing foreign words. For example, hello becomes helro.
I see. Now let's move on to sentence structure.
Good idea. Korean generally uses SOV subject-object-verb order, while English usually follows SVO.
That's why we have to listen till the end in Korean, because the verb, the core part of the sentence, comes last.
And there's another key element, josa, a kind of particle. Josa particles are like magic glue. They attach to nouns and indicate whether they're the subject, object, etc. For example, 김 선생님에게 전화했어요. versus 김 선생님이 전화했어요. These two have totally different meanings.
Exactly. Thanks to these jo-sa particles, word order in Korean is more flexible, and context becomes very important.
There's also the subject of omission. Korean is a topic-prominent language, so if the subject is clear from context, we often leave it out.
Like instead of saying, did you eat? We just say 밥 먹었니?
Right. This reflects how Korean emphasizes efficient context-based communication.
So today, through the Tiger Hangul material, we explored the reason for Hangul's creation, its scientific and philosophical principles, its syllabic block system, sentence structure, and the role of jo-sa particles.
Even if it's familiar, it's amazing to reflect on how deeply intentional the design of Hangul is. It's not only easy and scientific, but also full of deep philosophy.
To wrap up, we'll leave you with a question. Could features like the SOV structure, verbs at the end, and the use of particles actually influence how Koreans process information, organize thoughts, or communicate with each other? It might be fun to think about that. Thank you.